and welcome to episode 57 of the Lina Knits podcast. I've just talked for like half an hour or more, gone through all of my works in progress and found out my camera's not recording. This does not make me happy, and it probably means like a shorter version for you, since my mouth is tired of talking. But since I got all the stuff here and it's my podcast recording week, I'm gonna power on through and get this done. Otherwise, I'll be so disappointed with myself. So this is episode 57 of the Lina Knits podcast, my podcast about knitting and other crafty things that I get up to. I'm Lina and I'm coming to you from my home in Helsinki, Finland. Places where you can find me online are down below in the description box and also at the end of this video. But pretty much everything you need to know about me can be found on linaknits.com, my website. Right, so last episode I hoped, kind of promised that I would have an FO for you, but I don't. The sleeves got to me. They really got to me. So this is my Magnolia Sweater. I'm kind of hoping one sleeve sweaters will be fashion one day. Now, I usually don't have any problems with sleeves. I quite enjoy knitting them. But this one, no. So the Magnolia is a pattern by Camilla Bad and it's from Lina issue 4. I don't think I need to show you the finished photos since it's pretty much here. Let me pull it back a bit. Like this. Yeah, so last time you saw this, I was somewhere halfway down the lace. And I finished the body and the other sleeve. I finished this last evening. So now I need to pick up the stitches and knit the second sleeve. Why am I having problems with the sleeves? Well, I don't do magic loop. I just don't like it. So I knit my sleeves with TPNs. This one is knit with 3.5mm needles. The only 3.5mm DPNs I have are these. These are the shorter DPNs, 15 centimeters, 6 inches. And they're just too short to knit the sleeves. Like up here, you do have quite many stitches on the needles. So I'm constantly dropping stitches and I just need to be so mindful of where my needles and where my stitches are all the time. So just the stockinette knitting, even that is like you need to concentrate on what you're doing. You won't be just able to go. So that's my problem with the sleeves. It would be better, let me just turn that off. It would be better if I just got longer DPNs. Right, so the yarns that I'm using for this one, let's go through them again because I love them so much. Just had all of these here. I'm on the third and last skein of the Eden Cottage Yarns Hidden Foreplay in the steel colorway. So this is an MCN base, 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And 350 meters, 380 yards per the 100 gram skein. And to pair that with, I'm using Skein Queen's Floof in 72% kit mohair and 28% silk. And this is a lace weight yarn, so each of these 50 gram skeins has 420 meters. I still have a tiny bit of the second lace skein left. So this is 420 meters and this is 350. So I'm using this up faster than mohair. Makes sense. Right. So let's put those yarns back in there. So I'm really looking forward to having this finished. I want to block it so badly to see. Like you can see here in the yoke part where I've done the increases, it does look a bit more uneven than the rest of the body. And also I just want to see the lace in its full glory. I really love the lace and the naps. It doesn't have that many naps, but it does have a few. And I really like the way they are done here. And then the rib here is twisted rib, and I'm usually not a fan of that, but I think it looks really nice here. The sleeves have the exact same lace pattern, and my rib turned out a bit longer to get to the length I needed. Well, I actually haven't tried this on with the sleeves. I just sort of measured like this, which is probably not that good, but I'm being lazy. And it's right now it's like 20 degrees Celsius outside, so definitely not the weather to be wearing something like this. But that's not the reason I haven't been knitting on this that much. Well, I've been knitting it a lot, but like losing a bit of steam on it. It's just the short DPNs. I'm really loving the weather here. Going on a slight tangent here, but like last summer was really cold and dreary. The whole beginning of this year has been unseasonably cold. So having a sunny and warm May is just wonderful. Like I'm hoping the summer will be even warmer. This is not like warm, but it's really nice, and it's really nice for May. But it does mean there's a whole bunch of pollen out there. It's not a word, bunch of pollen. Anyway, the birch trees are blooming at the moment, and they're blooming heavily, and I'm really allergic to them. So even though the weather is wonderful, I'm having to keep all the doors and windows closed just so that I can breathe when I'm at home. Like we had the door open one of these days, and we were working a lot on the garden, our tiny garden. And once we got back inside, I just swiped the floor and it was yellow. So keeping them all closed, mopped everything, just so that I can breathe a bit easier. But yes, spending quite a lot of time outside as well, and not that much knitting, maybe. But yes, so I did knit on something else as well. Since the sleeves were really starting to feel like a chore, I did let myself knit something else as well. So my monogamous knitting didn't last that long. The project that I picked up is an old whip. If you watched the podcast for some time, you may have seen these. It's been a few months since I last worked on these. So these are just a pair of vanilla socks, contrasting heel, cuff, heel, and toe. And I'm doing them as fraternal pairs, so the other one has the colors reversed. And I was just at the heel when I picked these up, so I've done the heel and started working on the foot. Not that much. I haven't done that much. It's been a while since I've knit the fish lips kiss heel, and also a while since I looked at the pattern, so I don't think I've done it quite right, but it still looks like a heel and it works like a heel, so I'm keeping it. But the next time I want to try this or do this, I think I should look at the pattern. I tend to favor now the heel flap and gusset construction, like back to the basics, but it just fits my foot better, and I like knitting it more. I like going back and forth on the heel flap more than I do like knitting short rows. Yeah, but this one does have its place, like this one that has the self-striping yarn. The distances between the stripes would be distorted if I had a heel flap and gusset here. So it does have, like, I can see myself doing the Fish Lips Kiss heel in the future as well. So the yarn that I'm using, I don't have the tag for these anymore. I don't know where I've lost it. But this is by Tail and Tendril. And I think, at least when I purchased this, it was an Etsy shop, or they had an Etsy shop. It's a sock base, I'm guessing 75-25 mix, but I don't remember the base name. But I do remember that this is called Lumas and this is Knox. And they were sold as a pair, each one 50-gram skein. So Knox is like gray with bits of yellow, and Lumas is yellow with bits of gray. So they're fraternal pairs to each other, and then I'm knitting them into fraternal pair socks, which I think is quite fun. Anyway, I haven't knit on a pair of any socks, let alone vanilla socks, for a while, so quite enjoying that. A nice change from the sleeves. And then I keep checking that it's recording now, because I cannot do this a third time. I feel like I'm already going a lot faster than I did last time, which is not something I want to do. Right, so last episode I also shared that I started a new crochet project. Where did the tag for this one go? Oh, there. Let me put those clinking needles away. So I started crocheting these cotton swabs. The pattern I'm using is from Finnish magazines. I want to say it's Menaiset, their website, but the original pattern is from Molly Makes. And last episode I just done 1 or 2 of these, and I was curious to hear if anyone had any experience with these. Oh, let me go back. What these are is like reusable cotton swabs to cut down on waste and also the use of cotton wool. I won't be doing any makeup removal with these, at least not in the beginning, but for applying toner, this is what I now plan on using. And I have been using it for a few days now. Well, like a week. Yeah, so a viewer did reach out to me. Thank you so much for sending me your sending me a message and sharing your experience with these. She had used the exact same pattern, but she'd used 100% cotton yarn, and she did confirm what I said last time, that would make them too scratchy. So I'm really happy with my cotton bamboo mix. I mean, these are definitely not as soft as cotton wool, the fluffy stuff, but they're not, I don't feel like it's scratching or scraping my face when I use them. She had also had any problem with these soaking up too much toner, which is not good if you need to use more produce than otherwise. But I tried it, and these actually, well, they do get drier faster than the cotton wool, but I can use the same amount of stuff and get my whole face cleaned with it. But what I did find out is that this, which is done per pattern is, as you can see, it's quite thick. So it's just a bit too much. I mean, the diameter as well. I'm not wetting this whole thing and then using it on my face. I found out that I just put like half of it and use that. And the thickness, it's just too much. There's no need for that much fabric or whatever this is. So I experimented with the pattern and ended up with this. It looks similar. It has the same amount of clusters, or the stitch clusters, but each cluster has fewer stitches than the original one. So it's thinner and also smaller in diameter, which I think is nice. Since now this one produces more and there's no wasted material in that respect either. So I've been using these for like a week or so. These are the only what I haven't used, and the other ones are upstairs waiting for me to wash them. So that's the next step of this experiment. I think I'll wash them before continuing to make more. I have like I don't know, 12, something like that, of these. So I'm gonna use all of them up, wash them, and see how they look and feel and how they function after the first wash, before making a final decision on how to proceed with this experiment. I'm really like into the idea of producing less waste and also using less cotton. Ideally, I would love this yarn to be, oh, did I even share this? Not yet. This yarn to have like organic cotton, but this is the yarn that I'm using. It's Cotton Bamboo by Novita. I'm sorry if it feels like I left some things out. It's just because it's not in my mind, but it's just I've done this once before, so can't remember exactly what I did, when and where. Anyway, so this Novita yarn, this is available like pretty much everywhere. So I got this from a large grocery store, like a supermarket right near me. It was a 50-gram ball. I've used about half. Has 108 meters, 118 yards, so that's a DK weight cotton. 52% cotton and 48% bamboo. And you can wash this in 60 degrees, which is really good. So yeah. But it looks like one of these is enough. It will give me quite many of these swabs, so I don't know if I need any more of the yarn. But in case you know of any organic cotton bamboo mixed bases, you can let me know in the comments below, or send me a message on one of the social media sites that I'm on. Because you never know, I might need more, or someone else might be interested in trying that. Right, so then I tried something new last week. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen something probably. Like I shared a couple of posts on my Instagram, or on the feed, and then on my stories as well. So I went to a macrame workshop. I've been wanting to learn macrame or try macrame for some time now, and I saw that Ecolica, an ecological yarn store, online yarn store here in Finland, organized a workshop quite close to where I live, so I just had to go. I had asked a friend to come along, but she had something come up that very day and she had to cancel. So I went alone, but it was fun. We were a small group, which was great. Got a lot of hands-on help from the teacher. So what I did, well, like I had never done any macrame, and I'm pretty sure there were some other attendees who hadn't done either. So the first thing we did, we tried some of the basic knots on pieces of waste twine. I think this twine's not yarn. Like we had taped a bunch of yarn or twine on a table, and then we just did our knots there and practiced them. And then we moved on to our main event, like the thing we were making, which is this hanging pot holder. Does this have a name in English? I cannot think of any, but that's, I mean, it doesn't have any. In Finnish we call these ampeli, and I think that's the word that's just used for these hanging things for flower pots. So I actually have a flower to go in here. It's an orchid that has these hanging blooms. If I ever get it to flower again or bloom again. And we haven't hung this up yet, so we need to drill a hole into the ceiling for this. But yes, I'm really pleased with this. I was like grinning when I finished this because I'd never done anything, and I made something useful and pretty in just one evening. I was really happy with it. So I just use this. Well, it has these like tight knot, I don't know what to call these, but these that sort of seal everything in, and then it has these knots that make a twist like this, and then these other kinds. I do not know the names of these knots, I'm sorry. I'm sure they all have names. Let me give you a close-up like that. What else? Yes, so I made another one identical to this one, and I gave it to my mom. Today is May the 11th. I did the same mistake now that I did previously. I forgot to say the date. So it's May 11th, and Sunday, May 13th is always the second Sunday of May. It's Mother's Day in Finland. So I gave it to her as a Mother's Day present. I'm not seeing her on Sunday, but she did visit earlier this week, so I gave it to her then. And yeah, I really like doing these. I'm gonna make another one, a smaller one, because we have a small south-facing window in our downstairs bathroom, and I want to put a plant in there. This one has quite a long tail. It's all the twine that was left after finishing it. And I'm just gonna hang this and see how long I want it, because it's easier to shorten at any point and more difficult to bring more length. I quite like it long like this, but it's gonna be hanging in the middle of our window, so I might want to shorten it once it's hanging. Who knows? And yeah, so I really like doing those. So I came home with a whole kilo of the twine. Yeah. Let's see. Let's have a look at the tag. So this is what it is. I mean, it even had my name on it. Well, my name's really spelled with 2 I's, but anyway, that's a good excuse, isn't it? The yarn had my name on it, so I had to come home. This is made in Finland by this company, and this is the information on it. So it says chunky twine is especially suitable for macrame technique. It also suits for crocheting and weaving interior textiles. Material 80% recycled cotton and 20% polyester. So they said that this isn't, well, this is undyed obviously, but even the colorful ones, they aren't dyed when they're made into twine, but they're just using the colors available at that time. They had like a yellow and a pink one as well there, but I wanted this natural white, the same that I did my first one in as well. So this is 1 kilo. It doesn't say how many meters it has, but it looks like it'll be plenty for several projects. Like I already did my mom's, and you can barely see any dents in this. I haven't weighed this. Maybe I should have, but I haven't. Yeah, so I'm gonna make that small one, and then probably something other than pot hangers or pot baskets, whatever you want to call them. Maybe like a curtain type thing or wall hanging, who knows. I quite like it for a summer, like this for a summer project, because like I did my mom's already outside. I had it hanging on our, like a door handle, like a door handle, on a door handle, and just sat on our porch and made the notes there. And I even got some of these, like the friend that I was going to go with who couldn't come, I got, like she had enough twine for this one, like as part of her course package. So I got that for her, and then I got these, so she can use one of these and I can use another one for the one in the bathroom. The teacher said that you can hang it from just these yarn loops or twine loops, but I quite like the look of the wooden hanger there. So I got these, and I got these from a craft store. Alright, so that's all the, well, I have been doing again some or quite a lot of design knitting that I cannot share with you right now. I'm sorry. But that's pretty much all the making that I've been doing that I can share with you. But I did want to mention that Fluttering Wings, the pattern that I released last summer, has now been updated into the new layout that I've had designed by that a graphic designer designed for me. I mean, and Arbor, the lovely lace shawlette, will be updated next week. So if you're looking for some fun spring shawls to knit, check out those two patterns, or check those two patterns out. I really need to wrap this up before I lose the ability to talk. Anyway, and towards the end of this month, Memory Keeper shawl will be released. It's now being test knit. I showed it briefly on my last episode, and you can see the test knit versions on the Lina Knits Ravelry group. And I didn't mean to talk to you about test knitting for me. I really appreciate all of my test knitters. They do amazing work, and they just mean so much, not just to me but to all the designers. I think it's safe to say that. At the moment, I'm hosting all of the test knits on my Ravelry group, all of the open test knits, and what was I meant to say? And I announce the test knits on Instagram and of course on the Ravelry group when I open the thread. And also for the past 2 months, I've also done the test knit calls or sent out a newsletter to my newsletter subscribers when I have opened the test knit thread. So there are 3 places. If you are active on Ravelry, you can always check the Lina Knits Ravelry group. Follow me on Instagram, and you will hopefully see the announcement. Instagram is a bit tricky with this one because who knows who sees what messages or what posts, I mean. And then there's the newsletter. I also get the occasional request to add someone to an earburn list for test knits. I do not have an earburn list at the moment. But I really don't, what's, like in your opinion, what is the best way to find out about test knits? Like if you want to test knit for me, what would be your preferred method for finding out about when they are open? Then there's also secret test knits that are not hosted on the Ravelry group that actually are coming out pretty soon, a couple of those or a few of those. How would you like to know about those? For me, I quite like sending out the newsletter because I already, like, it's just one list that I have to keep up with. Even if you're subscribing to my newsletter and have no interest in test knitting, that test knit call email functions as a sneak peek for you, so you know what's coming up. What do you think about this? What would be the best way to do this so that it's most convenient for you? Of course, I do have to think about my time as well, but I do also want to think about your time and like give everyone an equal chance of participating. I don't know. It's difficult. But yes, that's everything I wanted to talk to you about this week in this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon again. Happy knitting. Bye.